In this video, I want to talk about how often should therapists take breaks and why they should. Let's get into it. Welcome to Therapy Business School. My name is James Taylor. Just a bit of admin before we get started on this week's topic. I've started a new Facebook group just for therapists or student therapists. The link is in the description. It's a private group and it's a bit of a community for you to come along. Feel free to share some stories, learn some things, and I also do Facebook Lives in there. So the link for that will be in the description. So, how often should therapists take breaks? And what are the problems if you don't? Well, when I was doing some studying around this, surprisingly, 50% of therapists, according to one study that was done, are suffering or have suffered from signs of burnout. Now, the signs of burnout can be a number of different things. It could be maybe you're excited or pleased when a client cancels a session. Maybe you're finding that you are lacking the empathy that you normally have when you're working with your clients. Maybe you're feeling tired or stressed or burnt out or depressed. All these things can happen. Now, this is a really big deal. So in this video, let's talk about how to avoid those kind of things, how to recognize them if they are happening, and let's see if we can complete the cycle on this. Now, the places where I got these statistics from, I'll put the links for them in the description below, so you'll be able to check them out and do a bit more research on this yourself. But one of the statistics said this. It said more than half of therapists said that work-life balance contributes to their burnout. Over half, 55%, mentioned administrative tasks. Compassion fatigue, 54%. Nearly 44% mentioned low pay. 33% said the severity and complexity of clients had increased, contributing to the burnout. And 1/4 noted that the caseload is too high. Now, are you identifying yourself on that list somewhere? Because if so, I would suggest that action is needed, and action is needed quite quick to get you out of that hole. Because if you don't, it's probably going to increase. Things are probably going to get worse. You're probably going to feel worse. And that can lead to some problems where maybe from one link, you have emotional exhaustion or depersonalization or lower self-evaluation. Now, one of the things that I noticed and have noticed within myself is that when I'm getting close to burnout, if I'm burning the candle at both ends, one of the first signs is I get a cold sore. And that's the first indication for me. Hang on, there's a red light come on the dashboard. Don't ignore it. Do something about it. So if I know that if I get a cold sore, I'm probably feeling a bit run down. Now, I'll tell you the true story. A friend of mine, this is a few months ago, said to me, who's also a counsellor, said, "How often do you take a break?" And I said, "Well, quite often." And they said, "When was the last time you took a break? Because every time I speak to you, you've been working." I said, "Well, it was only, and I was aware, I was babbling, because when I did the checking on this myself, it had been 3 months since I'd had a day off. It's too long, far too long." So I immediately changed it, and now I have a system in place to avoid burnout as much as possible. So if this helps you, I'll go through what my working week looks like and take what you can from it and learn from it and use it for yourself. But the most important thing, I can't stress this enough, the most important thing is that you take care of you. Because when you take care of you, you can continue helping others. But if you're not taking care of you, you're going to go down, and then potentially, because you've gone down, you can't help anyone else in your profession. Whether you're a student or whether you're qualified, it makes no difference. You've got to take care of you. All right. So as a bit of a breakdown, this is what I do throughout my week, and it tends to work quite well for me. Sometimes I have to tweak, sometimes I do a bit more, sometimes I do a bit less, but generally this is how my week looks like. Now, my client days are only Tuesdays, Wednesdays and Thursdays, and those days can be quite busy. Now, the reason I did that was because I don't want to be working 5 days a week, not seeing clients. I love working with clients, but I don't want to be working for 5 days a week. And I'm my own boss, I have my own business. So I do Tuesdays, Wednesdays and Thursdays. So on a Monday, that's one of my self-care / admin days. And sometimes there'll be more admin on a Monday, so I'm working on my business, not in it. Or it might be, this is just a self-care day. So what I do is I go to the gym between 3 and 4 times a week. Now, a bit of self-disclosure, I've got an injury to my knee at the moment that's going to need a small operation in September of this year. So at the moment, I can't do any running, and I love running. I've always loved running, but I've developed an injury to my Achilles. I've now got an injury to my knee. If I was a horse, I'd be shot. Hopefully not. So I've got to adjust what I do. So I go to the gym at least 3 times a week, sometimes 4. But on a Monday, I'll either cycle to the gym, because I can't run, but I can cycle and I can swim. So on a Monday, I'll either cycle to the gym or I'll drive, depending on how I'm feeling in the moment, and I'll go for a long swim. So Monday morning, I'm starting off by having a swim. I'll get back, I'll have a shower, get myself sorted out, and then if I'm having a day to myself, I will, and this is a big one, I will intentionally do something that's not therapy related whatsoever. So that means I'm not studying, I'm not going through some material, I'm not going through some notes, I'm not sending out emails, I'm not answering clients' inquiries. If I'm having a day off, then I'm having a day off. So boundaries is a big one, and might be something that you might need to adopt or adapt in your lifestyle to make this work for you. Boundaries is huge. So if I'm having a day off, Monday, I start off with the gym, do my cycling, do my swimming, have a shower, get myself sorted, and then I'm doing nothing at all. Now on a Tuesday, that's one of my client days. So I just write off that day. Tuesday, I'm working with clients. Wednesday, I do the same thing to the gym. Now, one of the reasons the taxman will never be poor is because before you've got yours, the taxman's taking theirs. So I like to copy the technique from the taxman. So I get my workout in the morning on a Wednesday, and I'll get back, shower, shave, all the rest of it, and then I'll start my client day, because Wednesday is one of my client days. Thursday is another client day. I will start my day and I'll just write the day off. Now what I also do in between, I alternate with a weight workout and a swim. So Monday is at the gym, going at a cycling and swimming. Tuesday is a weight workout before my clients. Wednesday is back to cycling and swimming at the gym. Thursday is my last client day. So I'll have a weight workout in the morning, and today is Thursday when I'm recording this. So I've had a weight workout this morning at home, and then I've had a shower, and then I've got my client days, and I've got a gap in my client day today so I can make this video. Okay, so Thursday I do that as well. Friday I'm back at the gym, cycle there, go for a swim, and I love it. I love the swimming, and I've really gotten into it because it's just doing something, because I miss the running so much. And I'm actually starting to prefer the swimming. I can feel myself getting a bit faster, a bit stronger, enjoying it a bit more. So that's really good. Saturday is my weekend. Now, I tend to do little admin things and try and stay away from the supermarkets at the weekend, because everyone's at the supermarkets at the weekend. So I might do that on a Friday. So Friday I do my swim, I do my cycle, I get back and I get all my shopping in, the washing machine's being loaded, all the admin kind of stuff. Now, another thing, that on a Saturday I have a thing where I go to, it's an online mastermind meeting. And I should probably speak about this in another video, but a mastermind session is where you come together with like-minded individuals, and you come, and the idea is you present something that is that you're looking to work on, and then collectively the mastermind come up with ideas of things you can do to get that task across the finish line. And I would really recommend it. I've been with this one for maybe 7 years, and it's fantastic, and I'll probably always remain in a mastermind. So I'll do that on a Saturday morning, and I'll either go to the gym in the afternoon for another swim, or I will meet up with a friend, and my friend, one friend in particular, has got a dog called Texas, and we'll go for a walk in the countryside and take Texas for a walk. and we have a bit of a catch up because she's got her own business, not therapy related, and we have a bit of a catch up, and she tells me how things are for her and like this kind of stuff. So I will do that. On a Sunday, that is probably a day off. That's a rest day for me. Now, again, I will either read or I will do very, very little. But here's some of the exceptions to the rule. One of the things that I do, I have a podcast channel for my business. I also have a YouTube channel for my business. So as in those days off, the Friday through to the Monday, somewhere along the lines there, I'm making podcast episodes, I'm making YouTube videos, and I do all the editing myself and all the admin around, keywords and this kind of stuff. And then I'll get ready for the upcoming week. So I've got to ensure that with a workload like that, as well as seeing the clients, and as well as working on my business, I also need time for me. So that's where I take regular breaks throughout the day. So for instance, if I've got a client at 1 o'clock and I've got another client at 3 o'clock, in that session, in that hour break, I'm getting away from a computer because I'm online only. I love a cup of tea. If I could have tea on an intravenous drip, I would have it. So I have some lunch, I have a cup of tea, I relax, I switch off, and I make sure that those little snippets in between, I'm getting some rest. Now, the image that I'm putting on the screen right now, I would recommend doing this. Don't go for the big things. Go for the little rungs of the ladder. The little rungs of the ladder, them little snippets just for you. They're the important ones, because that's where you really can rest, where you can really relax. So many times I'm online with a client and the washing machine's going on in the background. The client session finishes, and then I'll quickly get the washing out, hang it up to dry, and then I'm back with another client. If I'm fortunate, I'll have the washing out to dry, the kettle's on the boil, it's another cup of tea, I'll sit down with a cup of tea, and then, rested, I'll get back on with the client. Now, one of the things that I did to help with this is when I was told by my physio that I couldn't run anymore, not for the moment anyway because of this Achilles injury, they suggested swimming. Now, I had a Fitbit watch and it wasn't waterproof, so I used social media. I went online and I put the question out there, I'm looking to get a good exercise watch. What would you recommend? Now, I've got a few friends who are like ultra athletes, and it was a real mixed bag, an Apple Watch or a Garmin, and I genuinely didn't know. And in the end, I went with a Garmin, and it's great because I can then track my workout, and it's a nice little watch that sits on my wrist, and it helps me keep track of not only the workouts that I'm doing, it helps me keep track of am I getting faster. So if I'm swimming for a certain amount of time, over the course of time, am I doing more laps, or is my lap of the pool, is that decreasing or is that increasing, whatever it might be? So it's a good idea to get something to track to make sure that you're doing the right thing. Now, here's another big one. As well as all those things that I mentioned, a thing that I do every single month without fail, I have something in the diary that's an unusual thing that I will do. Now, I love walking in the countryside. I love walking down the coast. And I live in Kent, you wouldn't tell by my accent, but one of the things that I do is once a month I will get in the car and I will drive down to the Kent coast and I will walk from one town to another with a coastal walk. Ideally the tide's out so I can get on the beach, and then I will walk to the one town, have a cup of tea or coffee, whatever it might be, sticky bun, and then I'll do the return journey. So with yourself, with the self-care aspect for yourself, please, I can't stress this enough, get a date in your diary that at least once a month. Don't be like me, where it was 3 months before I did anything. And to be honest, if my friend hadn't have said anything, that would have continued, and I would have been oblivious. Maybe I would have got some more cold sores. Maybe I would have thought, I just need to sleep. So once a month, get something in the diary that's just for you. Now, that might be a picnic in the park. Maybe it's a spa day. Maybe it's meeting up with some friends. Maybe it's catching up with a friend who you haven't seen for a while. Maybe it's a day on your own. Maybe it's going for a walk, going for a bike ride, going for a car journey. Maybe it's a little weekend breakaway. Maybe it's jumping on a plane somewhere. But once a month, and that's not too much to ask, I would suggest. Once a month, get something in a diary just for you. And don't feel any guilt about it, because that's you. Just like a mobile phone that's got a low battery, that break is you plugging yourself in to recharge yourself. And you don't want to be like one of those statistics that I mentioned earlier, where 50%, that really surprised me, that 50% were really feeling this. I was expecting maybe 15, maybe 20, but 50%? I thought that's too much. That's way too much. Don't be one of them people in that percentage bracket. Take time for you. Take care for you. Don't feel guilty about it. We all need to recharge somewhere. I'll often say, even Superman at times takes his cape off and just becomes Clark Kent. All right? Look after you. You are the most important thing in your life. You might have people who are reliant on you. Maybe you're a parent and you have children. You have to manage these different things. I'm not minimizing that. What I'm saying is, out of all of those things, you need to put you in the mix. You don't want to be at the back of the importance queue. You want to be somewhere near the front, so you can recharge, so you can refresh, so you can come back stronger. So you're not one of the 50% who are really struggling with this. All right? I hope this video has helped. It's a topic that I'm quite passionate about, because what we do, we help so many people. So we've got to look after us so we can continue to help so many people. All right? So I hope you've liked this video. If you have, please do the like, the share and the subscribe. And you might see another video popping up here or there. Check that out. Check out the channel. And don't forget, if you'd like to join the free online Facebook group just for therapists, and it's a private community, the link will be in the description below. So until the next video, I will see you soon. And please, take care. This is James. Bye-bye.